In one of my videos, I actually showed you how to create a children's storybook using AI, and in that video we actually created this storybook that we actually even published on Amazon KDP using the AI images that we generated. However, one of the challenges that we faced when we were creating these AI images was that the characters we were using were not consistent. Now, for example, let's say when you look at this one, look at the first image right here, you see that this storybook was talking about a hippo and a crocodile. We're talking about friendship. For those of you who would like to watch how we actually created this storybook, you can come on the channel and find this video which says how to create children's storybooks with AI for free. So initially we actually did create this one in that video. Now what you notice is that when you look at this one, this is a hippo and a crocodile, and when we scroll down, let's say for example, if you look at this again, you can see we have again a hippo and a crocodile. But when you compare this image, maybe let me just switch to grid view so that you can see actually the entire storybook. Now if you see this image, and maybe let me just scroll over and go to another image, you can see this one, you can see that we have a hippo and a crocodile. But when you compare this one and the other one, you can see that the characters are not consistent. That is why in this video I'm going to show you how to create consistent book characters for your children's storybooks using AI. And the AI tool we'll be using is none other than Prom AI, and the reason I've chosen Prom AI is because I've seen it's one of the best when it comes to creating or generating AI images. What you want to do first and foremost is you want to get access to this template that we're going to use to actually help us create consistent characters for our storybooks with AI. So we only have about 3 steps that we're going to follow in order for us to actually create consistent characters. So the first one is that we need to generate a character idea using AI, and the prompt we're going to be using is this one right here. I'll actually give you this in the description, so be sure to get it for yourself. So you can see right here it's saying I'm seeking to create a storybook for kids on a character that is easy to illustrate. Then in brackets I even mentioned that you can actually go specific. Now what I mean by this is that you can actually, instead of saying a character that is easy to illustrate, maybe you have a specific character in mind. Let's say you want to create maybe a story about a dog, so you can say I'm seeking to create a storybook for kids on a dog. Okay, and you just have it here. Then what you want to also state is that I want you to generate 10. Then here you can replace whatever you are creating about. So here you can say 10 character ideas for an animal and the like. So we have examples. Let me just go to the examples. I think the examples explain better. So you can see the example 1, we have I'm seeking to create a storybook for kids on a character that is easy to illustrate. Now here is whereby I'm being general, I'm not being specific. I want you to generate 10 human character ideas. You can see here what I've stated is human. So that is what I meant here when I said replace with the type here, e.g. human, animal or machine. Then character ideas for the book and prompts that can be used. Then here is an example where you're being specific. So you can say I'm seeking to create a storybook for kids with a bear as the main character. I want you to generate 10 character ideas for the book and prompts that can be used to generate these characters with a cartoon style and seemingly hand drawn. So you're just going to copy this. So it's up to you. You just need to change whatever character you want and just copy this. This is just a template to guide us, and you're going to open ChatGPT and you're going to actually just paste in that prompt. So I'm just going to do that and simply click enter. So you can see ChatGPT has started generating character ideas that we can actually use for our book. So you can see idea number 1, we have Bruno the brave bear. Then here there's a description: a strong adventurous bear with a wide smile and a determined look. He wears a small red cape and whatever, you can just read it in the likes. Then we have also the prompt. Now that's why we also mentioned the prompt. So the prompt is actually going to help us to actually generate that actual bear. So once you have the 10 character ideas that have been generated for you by ChatGPT, what you want to do is probably you'd want to go through all of them and find which style or which character description matches what you are looking for or what you have in mind. So if you are actually not sure exactly which one is good for you, what I encourage you to do is just copy each and every prompt one by one and just go to Prom AI, and you just want to paste in that prompt right here. And under the options here, we want to make sure that it's on V1. Now if it is on V2, you won't see a style option right here. So make sure you click on V1 so that you get this option which says style. Just click on the style option, and right here, because we're creating a children's storybook character, we want to create an illustration. So here at the top you see where it says illustration, just click on it. Now depending on the type of storybook that you're actually actually creating, you can filter these results further by clicking on any of these options right here. Now in this case, let's say for example, if we are creating a children's storybook, which we are in this case, I'm just going to click on children right here, and you can see the styles that fall under children. So normally I would like maybe to go with either children 03 or children 04. Let's just go with children 04 right here because I like the style of this animal and the kid that is right here. So I'm just going to choose that one, and it will be selected under my style option. Now scenes and perspective, you want to ignore this as it will be useful when you're actually creating the scenes. This time around we're just creating the character, so there's no need to tamper with this. Now the negative prompt is just simply something you don't want to appear on the ratio. You want to make sure it's just on 1:1. That's all right. Then the lighting, you can actually also customize it, but personally I think just ignore that and simply just click generate. So you can see that our bear character has now been generated. So like I've already mentioned, you'd want to generate for each and every prompt that is here. So using the same settings, you'd want to go back to ChatGPT, copy another prompt. For example, I copy this one now and just simply come back to Prompt AI and paste it right here, and without changing anything right here, just need to click generate. So you can see that we now have a different version of our bear. Remember, this is not just the same type of bear, these are different characters. That's why we are saying different characters, generating different characters. So in spite of you just thinking of it as a bear, this bear is actually different characters. So I'm just going to quickly generate all the characters right here. So I'm done generating all the 10 character ideas. Let me just go right ahead and show you the results so that you see why it is necessary for you to generate each and every character for each prompt. This is one of the characters. Remember, we are generating 3 images using Prompt AI per prompt, so you can actually change this setting by adjusting the number right here. We have this one, which is the basketball bear. We have this one, which is the ballerine dancing bear. We have this other bear. We have the pirate bear. We have this one, the builder. That's why it's very necessary for you to actually generate each and every bear so that you see which character is nice. So depending on the character that you're actually happy with, you can actually now proceed to step 2. Now when you go back to this document that I've actually given you in the description, you can see that step 2 is now to generate a story title for our book. Now here we're going to use this prompt which says come up with 10 title ideas for, then in brackets we have add the chosen character for our book. So if you come back to Prompt AI, for example, one of the characters that I'm going to choose, let's say for this demonstration, maybe let's go with this, the builder bear. Okay, I like the style. We can go with any, it doesn't matter. So what you want to do when you select a specific character, you want to make sure you download the image of that character, and you understand that shortly. Let me just go right ahead and download it to my computer. Then now come back to your document, copy the prompt that we're going to use, come back to ChatGPT and paste it right here. Now in this case, in the brackets we want to add our chosen character. So let's just go right ahead. Here we've chosen the builder bear. So this is Bailey the builder bear. So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to replace where it says add your chosen character right here. I'm going to add it right here and simply click enter. So you can see ChatGPT is actually giving us 10 title ideas for our book. So once you have all the 10 title ideas, you want to come back to the document, and this time around you're going to generate storylines with AI, and that is step 3. So here we're going to generate 15 short and interesting storylines for, now you're going to add the title of the book. So here I'm just going to copy this prompt right here, come back to ChatGPT and I'm going to paste it right here. So here where it says title, I'm going to replace with the title I'm going to choose. Now in my case, I like number 6, which says Bailey the builder bear and the missing toolbox. So I'm just going to copy this and replace it here where it says title with the hashtag and simply click enter. Now while it's generating, let me just explain something here. You can see the prompt I'm using is saying generate 15 short and interesting storylines for our title here and keep them entertaining. Make sure each storyline builds up to the next, and the final storyline should be a conclusion with a happy ending. Now you can actually adjust this to suit whatever you want your story to end, like maybe to end on a sad note. You can give the AI the information that you want it to add. So here we have these 15 short storylines, okay, and we are going to use these short storylines to actually create our book. Now the next thing, once you have have here, you also have other options. You can generate prompts that will enable us to generate colored illustrations that represent each storyline. Here we want the AI to actually generate prompts that will help us to generate storylines for the book. So right now you just copy this, come back to ChatGPT and paste it right here. So you can see that ChatGPT has gone right ahead and given us prompt that we can use to actually generate each scene. Now the other thing you want to do is also to generate some background scenes. Now this is optional, you can do it later when you're actually setting up the book. However, I have actually added a prompt right here that you can actually use to actually generate the background scenes, and you just need to copy it. The prompt says generate prompts that will enable us to generate background illustrations that represent each storyline. Okay, so you can just copy this and paste it into ChatGPT so that it actually helps you generate background scenes. So once you are done generating the required prompts for your storybook, the next thing you want to do is to go through the entire story and see all the prompts. And if let's say you are happy with the story that has been created for you by ChatGPT, you would proceed to start generating the AI images. Now in my case, I didn't like the story of the builder bear when I went through it, so I just quickly switched up the character and I went with this one known as Bella, the ballerina bear. So I followed the entire strategy we are following in this document and created an entire different story for the bear character. So the next step is that now we're going to start using these prompts that have been generated, and we're going to begin with the prompts for the characters. Once we generate an image using Prompt AI, we're going to use it with this template on Canva. Now more on this later on, and I'm going to give you this template 100% free. So now the next thing we're going to do is come back to Prompt AI, and this time around now we're going to start generating image variations or other images for our storybook using the prompts that we have from ChatGPT. So now what you're going to do in Prompt AI, you want to click on any of the images that you are happy with of the character that you chose. Now let's say I am happy with this one, so I'm just going to click on it. So once you open up that image, what you want to do is to move your cursor to the top, and you see under this icon, you just want to click on it because this icon will allow you to actually remix your creations. So simply click on it, and what will happen by default is that Prompt AI will use the exact prompt that we used to generate that image, and it will place it in the prompt section. Now these images you're seeing right here, you can see that that is the exact bear that we had, and I actually generated this. So I'm going to show you how I was actually able to generate this using this method. So let's go back to ChatGPT and start with our first prompt. Now here you can see the first prompt was saying a cute bear with soft brown fur and the likes and the likes. Now what you understand is that ChatGPT, when it was actually coming up with these prompts, it was also describing the bear. Now in this case, we don't want to describe the bear because we already have a bear in mind, or we have a bear that we want to actually keep consistent. So the only thing we're interested in is the part where the bear is doing some certain action or is the way it's appearing. So the description of the bear, we're not interested in it. So this part which says a cute bear with soft brown fur, wide eyes and the likes, we are not interested in it. So what we're just going to copy is the part where the bear is doing something, maybe smiling, holding something and the like. So just copy this option right here, and when you copy it, you are going to come back to Prompt AI, and here where you have your original prompt, you want to make sure you leave the description of the bear. So you can see the description was a pink bear cub in a tutu and tiara. Then now the only thing you're going to change is what the bear is doing. So here it was saying standing on her toes in a ballet pose, cartoon style with soft hand-drawn textures. So right here I just copied this and replaced it with actually what is supposed to happen in the first scene, which is the special delivery, and that's how I was able to get these images you are seeing right here, these three. If you want, you can get specific. You can actually adjust this prompt maybe to something. If you, let's say what is here is not something you're happy with, you can adjust it. This actual bear is the actual ballerina bear, or at least it looks consistent. It might not be the actual bear, but it looks very consistent, and the kids will not realize that this is a different bear when they are reading the story book. Okay, so let me just go right ahead and generate the second part of our prompt. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT right here, and you can see the second prompt is describing what Bella is doing for the first time. So she's putting on the magical tutu for the first time, her expression, okay, and the like. So what we're just going to do, remember, we are not interested in the description of our character. So we're just interested in what she's doing. So in this case, that like wearing the magical tutu for the first time, actually this is very necessary. So we're not interested in the name Bella. You don't want to put that. If you put that, you might get a different result, as the AI might think you're talking about a human and the like. So I'm just going to copy wearing the magical tutu and the likes. So I'm just going to copy that, come back to prompt AI, and here the pinky bear cub in a tutu and tiara, I'm going to leave it as it is. So then I'm just going to replace this part, which is the holding and open box and the likes. I'm going to paste in what is described. So wearing the magical tutu for the first time, her expression, one of the wonder and joy she and the likes. So I'm just going to click on generate. Alright, so you can see the results we get are okay, but not very good. But you can see right here we have the same character, but this one and this one, especially this one, is off the chart because this is not our character. Let me even go right ahead and delete this. One is the actual character we want. However, the color of our tutu is slightly different, so maybe we would want to adjust our description right here, and it will be something like a pinky bear cub in a tutu and tiara for the first time, her expression, one of wonder and the likes, and I'm just going to click generate. Now you can see that we're getting better results, and I love this one actually because this one is very similar to actually the main character we are creating. So if we look at our original character right here, you can see, look at this one, look at her, and you can see that this character and the likes is actually similar or consistent with this character right here, or this one. Okay, yeah, this one is off the charts, but this one I love it. So I've deleted the other images that were not consistent and just kept this one that is actually consistent with the look that I want. So you can see this actually looks like the little cub is sad and the likes, so we can actually use this in our image. Now the other thing you'd want to do probably is to remove the backgrounds, and this is why I like prompt AI. So you just need to click on here where it says edit, and you see the option which says more, and right here you're going to click on background remover because the scenes we have right here might not be the scenes you want to use. So once, let's say, you are done generating the entire images for all the 15 scenes for your storybook, you'd also want to generate the background images or background scenes using the prompts that were actually generated. So I'm just going to do one example so that you get what you're supposed to do. Remember I said the scene option, you're going to use it later on. So I'm just going to copy this one where it says the special delivery. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to actually come to prompt AI and delete this prompt. Now this time around you want to choose V2, which is the version 2. You want to remove the styles option. Then here where it says scene, you want to click on it, and you can actually change to whatever type of scene you want. For example, let's say you want to use a game scene, so you want it to have that look like it's in a game, and then you just click here where it says game, and here you can even change to scene style. Like for example, here you have a jungle style, you can just click on it and that will be your style. Or maybe let's go with this one, the caravan option. Okay, then once you have that one, you just paste in your prompt right here and you just click generate. So you can see we have these 3 scenes that have been produced, and all we have to do is choose whichever we like. If let's say it will suit our style. Now that's why I said you can actually remove the backgrounds if you see that this won't look nice with your character. So I've just gone right ahead and generated the actual prompt using a different scene type. Right here, if I click on the scene, you can see I chose a frozen wasteland as our scene, and you can see that the results we get are slightly different with what we had using a different type of scene. And I think this scene might work best with the type of character that we have and the colors that we have for our character. So all you have to do is download these. The other thing you can maybe do also with prompt AI, when you click on the AI tools, they have this one which they call image variation. Now let's say you want your character to perform a certain type of activity, or maybe to raise their hand in a specific way, maybe to close their eyes in a specific way. You can actually add an image and you can actually use that to have your character perform the similar thing. Now however, I'm not going to do that in this video. Let's just go right ahead now to Canva. I show you how you use the template. So this link will also be given to you, and let's say once you have this link, you just click on use template for new design. So once you have the template open up in Canva, what I want you to do is click on the file option right here, and you want to go to settings and you want to click on show rulers and guides. Now what will happen is that it will bring up this. Now this is already set up for you, and this will just guide you when you are placing your images. So you would want to make sure that that your character is within these lines. Okay, now don't worry, this book, actually the one you're creating, the storybook, you're creating a storybook with bleed. Now what that simply means is that all the images will reach the far end of the page. Okay, so you want to scroll down. You're not going to add anything here. Like here for my little one, you can just change the text to whatever you want. Then in Canva, I'm going to add the book title right here, and I can reduce the size, and you can see that's why I said you must have these grid lines turned on so that it can guide you to see how you're placing things. Okay, you can change the font to whatever you want, it's up to you. And here where it says copyright courtesy, you put the year you're planning to publish that storybook. You can add your author name or your pen name, all rights reserved. You can change this to whatever law that is applicable to you, or you can just leave it as it is. Then now here, this page, this book belongs to, just leave it the way it is. Now this is the part where you start adding your characters. Okay, you start adding your book materials. So here where it says add your story scene, you are going to go back to ChatGPT, and you want to go back now to those 15 short storylines that you actually had ChatGPT generate, not the prompts but the actual storylines. You are going to copy the first storyline, just this one. We copy it, come back to Canva, and here where it says add your storyline, you're just going to add it right here. Now the background of the storyline, we have a cloud, though it's not exactly visible because we haven't added yet a background image. Now initially there's a frame right here where we're going to add a background image. So what we're going to do is here in Canva, we're going to click on uploads, and you're going to upload the files that you actually generated. So I'm going to upload the backgrounds or the images that I actually downloaded. So once your images and assets have been added to Canva, or you've uploaded them, you want to start adding them to your book. Now what you have to understand is that the first part of the story, this is the story part, and you just have a background here, a background image. This one you can even reuse it every after one page. Now here you have a story. Let me just show you exactly what I mean. Let me just go right ahead and drag this. Let's say this is the background that I want to use. If I drag it right here, you will see that it would automatically fit the page. So you can see that is our story. Now you can see that the color of our text maybe is not very bright, so maybe you can change this color. Maybe we can use a different color. Let's try to see if we can use pink. Red doesn't look nice. Let's see. So this dark green, I think it looks much better. Let me just zoom in so that we see how it looks like. Yeah, I think this one looks much better when it's being read in a book. So if let's say we are okay, this is just a demonstration. If let's say we are okay, if you don't want to use this color, we can still use black, and what you can do, you can just add some effects. So let's say if I was to use black, I can just say black, then here I can add some effects right here, and maybe add a slight maybe glitch, or maybe I know that one doesn't work out. Let's add a lift. Yeah, you can see now this one looks nice. So I think going with the lift, it looks nice, and you can see that the text is fully readable. So if we go full screen and see how it will look like, you can see this looks nice and it's readable. So I have this image, so I just need to click on it and it will be added to my page. Now I'm just going to reduce the size of this, and yeah, maybe place it like that, and you can see this looks nice. So this is our first part of our stories. The next part right here, because the first part tells the story, the other part should actually show exactly what you mentioned in the previous page or on the previous page. So what we're going to do, I'm going to add the same scene right here, or the same image, set it as the background, and you can see it is automatically placed. Now once you add the background, you'd want maybe to delete this text. It's not necessary because the story has already been mentioned right here, but unless you want maybe to add maybe some emojis and the like. So I'm going next to add our character, the same one image, and place it in a similar way that I had it in our previous page. So now the other thing you'd want to do is to actually show the mysterious package right here for your story. So because we're actually trying to show what is here, and we'll show it on the next pages. Okay, so right here in Canva, you can go to elements and just search for, let's say, for mysterious package, and let's say maybe if you find a package that you like, you can actually use that one. Let's say for example, if let's say we liked this one right here. Okay, so you just need to change the size to something that suits what we have right here. No, maybe the question mark isn't good. Let's switch to this one, and I'm going just to reduce the size so that it fits right here. Yeah, so we have the package right here. Let's just say we are happy with this. She receives a mysterious box. So we are done with the first scene. So you just need now to go to the next scene. So you can actually, for the storyline, you can actually use the same one you have right here and just change the text here. Then the scenes are the ones you're going to be changing on each and every page. So once you are done, you're going to download this in PDF format. Now I'm not going to go through the entire details of how you create this book because everything has already been done for you. It's just a matter of drag and drop. Okay, if this video was helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Thank you very much.